Self-defense. It's a major part of what we do as martial artists. Yes, some for sport, some for other things. But let's break down the process of self-defense so we can understand it. We'll do it right after this. Hey, welcome to Shihan's Dojo. I'm Shihan Marty Husband, and I'm here to talk to you about self-defense. Now, self-defense in and of itself is a big subject, and we're going to break this down into chapters, and this will probably be ongoing for many years to come. The first chapter we're going to talk about is the process and the ideals of self-defense. Now, in order to understand what self-defense is, let's break it down to a really simple thing. Let's use the example of a cat. You have a cat walking down past a table, and an object falls off that table right beside the cat. The cat immediately drops down, looks at the object, then goes off and hides somewhere. Now, you're saying, what does that have to do with self-defense? It has a lot to do with it. Now we can break it down from an instinctive level and know exactly where we should go from there. To me, self-defense is as much prevention as it is understanding what is going on. Self-defense is mostly ongoing in that we learn to deal and control situations. We can't control everything. I mean, life doesn't give us that luxury, if you want to call it that. Number one on the list is a group called perception. Perception itself is like prevention. If we go back to what we were talking about with the cat was walking by a table, and as he was walking by the table, that sound immediately made him drop down on all fours. And why? Because that was his first instinct, to get ground, to get his balance, understand what he was doing. Then he turned his head towards the direction of whatever the sound was. It doesn't matter what fell off there, it just knows there was something loud over there. And immediately when it sees what it is, it takes off and hides. The first thing a person always should do, like the cat, is check your general surroundings. You know, the surroundings are where we go, what we do, the mall, where are we going down the street, are we going to work, what part of town do we live in. This is a very important thing you have to be understanding. You have to be able to perceive what can be dangerous where you're at or where you're going. Doesn't mean you have to be paranoid, but you should always know where it's best to go. And if something looks wrong, well, you don't go there. I mean, let's face it. I've seen too many people just say, hey, I took the alley because it was a shortcut and got mugged. Not a good idea on their part, was it? The second part of perception is particulars. That means, what am I doing to prevent having to deal with self-defense situations? A lot of times when you're walking down the street, if you ever notice, there's people studying their cell phone, they've got their face down, or they're walking with their eyes to the ground, you know, just to barely see what's in front of them. Now, what that does in general, as we all know, makes us a target, because if our heads are down, we're not paying attention, or we're just not confident in where we're walking, or we just don't want to make eye contact. That can be a problem. So it does mark you when you're out there on the road. Also, when you're seeing groups or individuals, you're in a place where there's a party going on, say, and all of a sudden it's getting rowdy. You know, you have to think about yourself on that. Should I be here or should I not? Is this a great place to be, or is it just for fun? Because I've seen too many times it isn't. You have to learn to trust that instinct. You have to take that general part of where you're at, apply it to yourself. Am I doing everything I need to do? And then weighing the situation as you go on. Next, the situation does arise. Alright? You see that there are three guys or something in front of you. You have to do what is called an evaluation and a decision. Now, in doing evaluations and decisions, you have to remain calm and be very precise, because at this point your adrenaline is up, your amygdala kicks in, and it just is trying to give you the fight or flight syndrome. You have to take and control that. It's hard to sometimes control our baser animal instincts there, whether it's to run or fight. Some people will just launch, other people will run without even thinking. So calm and precise is what we need in self-defense. That way we do we have enough time to think about what's going on? And I'm not talking about, well, is this going on? No. I'm talking about quickly surmise, am I in danger? What should I do? How should I handle it? This is the importance of that evaluation and decision. And if you have to now Run, you can run if you see that opportunity. If you have to defend yourself, you're ready to go. You're able to see what's coming on. If you have to fight, then you have to make that decision. Part 3 is the reaction. Now you've evaluated the situation and you know you have to do something to defend yourself. So in defending yourself, you have to be very specific with what you're going to do. That's probably why many of us train as martial artists, to focus on that. So you have to think specifically, where are they at? What's going on? Is somebody launching? Who's the biggest? I mean, there's so many things that go through your head. If it's just one person, can I do this? Can I do that? You have to train specifically for these types of situations. Your action then must be done immediately. You can't wait. I mean, once you've decided, hey, I've got to fight, this is what I'm going to do, it has to be done immediately. There can't be a wait time. It has to be then. We'll talk a little bit more about this on the next video called The Practice of Vital Technique. The next part of that immediate attack, it must be powerful. I mean, it's got to stop the opponent, it's got to do what you want it to do, it's got to have the reaction. It's either got to give you the ability to escape or finish what's happening. Self-defense, everybody says, oh, you have 7 seconds in a self-defense situation. I don't think that's true. It can be very immediate. You can have somebody walk right up you and bam, right in the face they go. And guess what? You're out of it. You can't do anything about it because it was that quick. But you have to think even quicker. Now it's like the cat. The only exception there is you got hit. Now, that's where your specific reactions come in, immediate, and whether you're doing a powerful attack. You have been attacked, and you better make your attack powerful back. These techniques have to be consistent. You know, there's a lot of martial arts out there that'll teach really weird techniques for self-defense. In the street, when your amygdala kicks in and your adrenaline is just rushing through your body, there is no way for you to remember all these fancy little moves. You're going to do specific, simple techniques that you need to get out of the situation. If you haven't trained that type of a situation, you're going to be in very serious trouble because you're going to be trying to remember exactly what was going on. Oh, if they did this, I was supposed to do this. You can't be thinking. Remember what I said. You have to be specific. You have to be immediate. You have to be powerful, and you have to do it consistently. It consistently has to be effective. The effect of that technique is going to say how well you get out of that self-defense situation. You know, a lot of people out there might be scared of self-defense or become even paranoid about it. You don't have to. I mean, an ounce of prevention is worth it. Make sure, when you're out there in the streets, or when you're out at home, or wherever you're at, give yourself some thought. What's going on? What could happen here? Don't be paranoid about it, like I said, but what could happen? One of the things the instructors and I do when we go out for a meal or anything like that, we all fight for who gets to watch the door. Why? Well, I don't know if it's a macho instructor thing or what, but even when I'm with my family, I'm the one who watches the door. I sit at the table where I can see anybody coming in at a restaurant or wherever I'm at. I make sure I can be as safe as possible. That way I can protect my family or myself if need be. Now, it really, like I said, paranoia can run rampant with some people. They're scared. With today's society, we've got terrorists, we've got people doing things we don't like. We've got all kinds of problems. But if we train ourselves and train our children and family to understand the proper principles of self-defense, we can better prepare ourselves when it does come time to do this. Now we're trying to just break down here what self-defense is. Next we'll break down in the chapter 2 the practice of vital technique. In this we'll break down how we do our technique in training and in self-defense usage. It's not about techniques, it's about how you train. So chapter 2, I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys, and I hope you got something out of this, at least a building or a platform where we can start off at with self-defense. Thank you for your time. Now, if you're here for the first time and you haven't already, punch that subscribe button down there, and then jab onto that bell so we can notify you when we have new videos. And one thing, thank you for your valuable time here. I would appreciate it also if you can give me some comments, what you would like to see, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. You know, I'm bringing this out here for you guys, so I need your feedback too. So don't hesitate. We'd love to hear from you so we can help make better videos and quality videos for you. Thank you very much.